pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast, where we get you caught up in the world of sports for the past week. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan. Let me bring on my other two hosts. First, let me bring in the man who knows more about baseball than I ever will. Let me bring in my man, Seven. Seven, what's up?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Chilling. It's trying to make it, man. It's trying to make it. And making his return to the program, bringing my man, Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan.
I was only gone 1 week, Will. God damn.
Bro.
And the term is Tony knows more about baseball or has forgotten more about baseball than you will ever know. That's the term.
Yes.
And I smoke a lot of weed, so I have forgotten a lot I baseball.
He has forgotten.
I'm serious. I mean,
not a lot of OPS is being remembered. Let's just say that.
No. Oh God, no. I forget what that fucking means sometimes in the right mood.
Yeah,
that just means it's a good strain.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man.
I actually have a strain that's MLB related. It's OPS. That's the strain name. OPS.
Oh,
OGs.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Oh, there you go.
Not a real thing.
Got a lot to talk about this week. Alabama got taken down. I'm happy to see that. Saints got a win, breaking up 5-game losing streak. We got a lot to talk about. Seven, you got any baseball news you want to hit us with?
I mean, not really. I just want to really quick say Robert Manfred needs to be fired. Fuck that guy. This is entirely his fault. And fuck Robert Manfred. That's it. That's it.
Tony, in 30 seconds, can you lay out what the MLB, what the strike is about? What the main issues are?
Main issues, a lot of it's going to surround around money. In money adjacent, like service time manipulation is a big thing the players are trying to put a stop to, and the owners are saying they're refusing to negotiate on it. And because players are just sick of that shit being exploited and then being in the league 3 years and still being a rookie because they send them down every once in a while for a week. And also revenue sharing. Owners are trying to refuse to negotiate on that, and players want more of what's on the table. There's a lot of money on the table and they want their share. Can't blame them on that one.
I know also,
and then some rule stuff. Universal DH is probably is universal DH is in the discussion as well, which for the love of God, just fucking do it already.
Do the players want that?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Like, why would a starting pitcher want to go out and fucking hit?
And I think that and from what I've seen with everything, as far as what I can tell, and just even talking to people that have behind the scenes news, it's universally accepted, because one of the things that people forget is that it doesn't have to be the pitcher that gets DH'd. Anybody, if your second baseman is great, Xander Bogaerts is on a bad hitting run, but he's obviously shutting it down at shortstop. Boss can be like, you know what? We're going to let Edwin Rodriguez hit today. We're going to have JD Martinez pitch hit for him instead. Okay. If they think it's going to be a better heat in the lineup, why not? There's so much strategy that can be used with the DH that people don't think about sometimes. And I understand there's some numbers that talked about only an extra 7 home, or, an extra 1 home run or 1 run across 7 games on average with the universal DH. But that was too small of a sample, and, not really expanding and utilizing it, because the Angels with Shohei Ohtani on the field, I mean, if they use him in just a full capacity, that DH can really be freed up for other things.
Right. And think about how much less pitchers even attempt to hit at this point. In the 70s, they at least tried. They fell off some balls and stuff. Some of these guys just go up there now and they're just whiffing at everything just to get off or it's an immediate sack bunt.
Immediate. Well, and National League pitchers expect to have an extra 25 strikeouts a year because they don't have to worry about DHs.
AL.
Or I'm sorry.
Okay, I got you.
No, National League.
You're right.
National League. And I think that's a problem, because that also, some of those National League teams are in big markets where they want those ratings to come back up. Let's pick up those bats a little bit. That's at least put something in there that can juice it up a little bit. And Also, I know that like the league did confirm that they randomly tested different balls at different times last year. The players are kind of sick of that shit. Like not confirming it, like we need to stabilize that and not allow that shit to continue. And I get it. I get the reasoning why the players are pissed about that. But I mean that's the kind of problem. The owners and the players are not on the same page, and the owner and the players are trying to negotiate reasonably. The owners are looking at it as an us versus them, and we're going to get everything we want, and they can go fuck themselves. And that's why, because Robert Manfred is enabling all of that, and not talking sense into these fucking owners.
All those old white guys.
You know, yeah,
Basically.
old white guys fucking up business. Who would have thought? You know,
Imagine that. They're stubborn. They're cheap. What?
And
That's
they're trying to
outrageous.
export. You know, they're trying to exploit minorities and make them
South
pay them less
American
for.
labor.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's like a personification. But yeah, of the entire United States. Baseball, United States.
Yeah.
I just think
They need to bring back. Sorry, go ahead, Will.
I just think if they had some concessions, they can make more money with the proposed changes that the players want than they're making now. I really do feel that way. And he's just
The
it's just
players are not,
frustrating.
and this is the thing, is this is just like the strike in 94. The players are not being unreasonable, but this is baseball's problem going all the way back to before the curse of the Black Sox because of how bad MLB owners are. That's what caused that whole fucking scenario. The MLB owners have never been on the same page as the players. They have had more lockouts than any other sport because of this fact. And until they figure it out, they're going to continue to lose the market share that they have. And I mean, baseball's already no longer America's pastime.
Nope.
And they're not going to have any chance of trying to earn that back. The Cowboys have a better chance of getting a Super Bowl and reclaiming America's team than Major League Baseball does of reclaiming America's pastime right now because of the way things are going.
Amen, Tony. I'm gonna leave that side of that at that, and I'm gonna leave the rule change things with the DH and everything just real quick. They need to make it more exciting, dude. That's all there is to it. Like they need to make it more exciting. This old school, like, oh, well, that's not how the game was originally played. Like, oh, okay, well, you're not in the same time, man. You guys are, it's a very old league. I mean, that's almost slavery date old league. Like
it's
way
not
back
far
when.
from it.
It's not about 30 years.
Right.
So that stuff's, it needs to be more exciting, and it's cork those balls back. Get some corks back in those balls like you had in 2019 was it?
Oh, they did it for a while last year too.
Dudes are just racking. Get those back out there. More people watched too, didn't they? I would say that ratings probably were there, but they were just like kind of felt guilty about it.
I have a theory, and this is going to, and there are, people can take this as it will. But I think when they started enforcing the sticky substance ban was when they corked the balls again. Because if you noticed, numbers didn't just go back up hitting wise. They jumped up more than normal. And I'm not saying in every lineup, but most lineups, they fucking spiked.
Are you talking about 2019?
No, this last season.
Last season.
Yeah, this last season.
Okay.
And so I think that, the league was testing this different stuff. At the same time, pitchers decided to say fuck it because the rule wasn't being enforced. Right. And once the league realized that they were fucked, the only way they could recover was to not only start enforcing the fucking rule, but to, cork the balls again so that they can get this, boost the ratings for the second half of the season, which really is more of the important baseball for most teams anyway. Let's be honest.
Here's my last question for you, Tony. Why are they not just letting those dudes put as much pine tar on their fingers as they want, as much pine tar on their fingers as on their bat, and everybody can juice, and we really figure out what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? Like we really figure out what it's like to be played at that top level.
And here's the thing. I will say on the sticky substances thing, I think that there is a middle ground that, of course, because it's fucking Major League Baseball, they're completely missing. There should be a few substances that pitchers can use to help maintain control. It should be regulated across the league. Hey, here's 3 different substances from these sources. This is where you get it. If we catch you using other stuff, then it's a problem. That is
Right.
perfectly reasonable. And here's why, because when you've got somebody throwing a 90 plus mile an hour projectile, you want to make sure that they're throwing that with accuracy and control. Because if it hits that $100 million athlete and injures them, that can dramatically impact an organization.
Yes.
And so as somebody who played, and I know a lot of the hitters feel this way too, there is no problem with them having the ability to have better control. And pine tar and rosin are not enough.
No.
Especially with the way that they've changed the balls, because the balls are a lot slicker than they used to be. If this was the same balls that we used in the 80s, yeah, you'd be fine, honestly. But not now. They're too slick, and they need to have that control, or you're going to have players getting hurt. What happened to Kevin Pillar last year, getting hit in the face with a 95 mile an hour fastball? It's going to start happening again unless they find some middle ground. And I hope that the players are trying to negotiate that too. Honestly,
I like your idea a lot, Tony. Like, just give them a list of items that they've already looked at, and they're like, okay, well, this one's, this one's good, this one's, and then just give them a list.
And they already have those regulations with different equipment. Catchers have a range of things that they have to follow when it comes to their catching equipment. Your baseball glove has to be one that's more formulated towards your position, unless you're, somebody that transitions and multiplies, and then they'll make exceptions. A catcher's mitt is the only one that can be like that style. I can't play shortstop as a catcher's mitt in fucking pro ball. They won't allow that. And so, they have rules on the cleats and the bats, different lengths and weights and all this other stuff. So why is it such a fucking problem to not do that, to give these pitchers more control and keep your batters safer? There's no problem with it. There shouldn't be a problem with it.
I agree.
Goddamn politics, Tony.
That's all this whole thing is.
It is.
Yep.
There's a bunch of grandstanding. That's all this is grandstanding.
Will Morgan, I have a question for you. Do you know what position 7 played in baseball? You don't?
No, I don't.
Really? What does he look like? Like, what if you just look at him and just go, hey, what's that guy play? What do you think he played?
Just by looking at him, I would say he was a shortstop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was my backup position, but I played catcher.
Okay.
Catcher. I knew that. I knew that.
Okay.
He doesn't look like a catcher.
He didn't tell me, so I didn't know.
He looks like a catcher in a New York Jewish league is what he looks like. He looks like that guy. They're like, yeah, Tony's a pretty good, he's a pretty good catcher. He's like, yeah, he's just fucking pretty good little athlete up there.
Oh God.
Oh,
that's great.
Oh man.
And here's the reason why the owners are fucked. And I'm going to say this because the owners don't have the social media clout that the players do. And that's going to make a difference when how the fans put pressure on this as it gets to crunch time. The owners are going to learn very, very quickly that their balls are in a vice grip because the fans are going to back the players for everything.
Yep.
And if
100%.
the owners if the owners don't go to the table now and get it done, the pressure that they're going to be under, they're going to lose a lot more, or they're going to lose the entire league. Those are the two things that are going to happen if it gets to crunch time and they don't fucking fold.
To everybody in the public, I feel like I can probably speak to percentages. The owners are the dark side. They are the dark side of Major League Baseball. It doesn't matter what.
And more than any other sport. Also, think about that. More than any other sport, NFL owners are not seen in such a negative light as MLB owners are because of the way things have been going in that sport.
Right. And also, just, I don't want to delve too much into the whole thing, like with it, but they've been around for a long time, and their standards as owners at one point were very, very white, if you know what I mean. And they were the only ones, dude, they were the only, think about this, the only really popular American sport to go through a race integration in their players. Okay. We have not very long ago, right? But they were the ones that do it.
The NFL did one to an extent because you did have some teams, like especially like with Washington not wanting black players for the longest time. Like that was like that, and that was a thing, but it was more prevalent in baseball than in any other sport for what happened with it.
The NBA sort of kind of did it with the Boston Celtics. So 1 minute they are an all-white team, and next thing you know, they're the Rainbow Coalition. You got Dennis Johnson, you got Robert Perry. Oh, wow, dude.
That's the greatest description of that ever. I love it.
Oh man, shout out to those Boston Celtics teams.
And here's the thing, and I'm going to say that this is a prime example of the disconnection of the owners. And I'm going to quote. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I'm going to quote the sportscaster that I hate to quote more than anybody else.
Skip.
And Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
So if you think about it, and this puts it into perspective. So if you remember back in the middle of the season, or near the late of the end of the season, Stephen A. Smith made the boneheaded comment that Shohei Ohtani would not be a good face for the league because he doesn't speak English.
Trash comment.
Very disconnected and uninformed stupidity, right?
Yep.
Not countering the fact that a marginal percentage of players that play Major League Baseball don't speak English because they speak Spanish or, some variant of it, or other Japanese players. Like, this isn't a fucking uncommon occurrence.
And we're talking Asia. We're talking Asia here.
I mean,
exactly.
They love baseball.
I mean, the game's international. It was stupid to say.
It was completely stupid to say. And so, but that disconnection, and it's because Stephen A. doesn't watch baseball a lot. I get it. He doesn't understand the game as much as people who watch it closer, or at least pay attention to what's going on.
Right.
When you look at the owners of, the owners in Robert Manfred, like, the evidence is all there as to what is going to work and what people expect the Major League Baseball to do. But they are so disconnected. It's like that Principal Skinner meme that goes along. Are the players, maybe are the players right? No, they're wrong. I'm the one that's forward thinking as I sexually harass another fucking cheerleader. I mean,
right?
Yeah,
Tony,
right.
Tony, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right about that.
Wrong, but a lot of MLB owners or majority owners are actually family owners who have owned it for multiple generations. Correct.
Okay. I can't say with extreme confidence that it's most of it, but I can say that it's a marginal percentage. Because there's teams like Boston. Boston's got a few different ownership groups that are a part of it.
Hey, LeBron James owns Boston Red Sox.
He's part owner. Yeah, part owner. Yeah.
Do you know that, Will?
Yeah.
2%.
2% owner.
2%.
He's getting up there.
There's two.
There's two. Just, I mean, hey,
that's a sign. That's a sign of change.
Go Red
Sox.
Then just kidding.
You've got, Cleveland has a few different companies involved in their ownership group, because I remember with that, because the guy that now owns the Royals had to sell his stake in the Indians to purchase the Royals. And even that's an ownership group that Patrick Mahomes is a part of for one of the subgroups.
The Hunt family, obviously, but
yeah, I mean, but for the longest time the Royals were, but now they're not, so it's more common in baseball for sure, but it's definitely not most or all, I would say.
I want to touch on one last thing that we just touched on before that. The race integration thing in Major League Baseball. Okay. Yeah. Obviously Jackie Robinson. There's an argument to be made. I'm not going to say it that it's my argument, but there's an argument to be made that anything before you let minorities play baseball in Major League Baseball, those records and those stats need to be cut way back. Those don't mean as much.
What they did, they have now officially integrated all of the Negro League stats into Major League Baseball stats, and they are considered a professional league. So that's one of the reasons why. It's one of the reasons why that Kansas City legend that just got voted into the Hall of Fame, Buck O'Neil.
Buck O'Neil's seat.
Yeah, that's why I think it's one of the reasons why Buck O'Neil finally got in, despite not getting in with the ballot in 2006. And now that the numbers are officially in the Hall of Fame, they really didn't have a choice.
Wow. So everybody, okay.
But yeah, and so I think that's really as close as we're gonna get.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so they actually took it. Okay.
Yeah, so they're just considered those even like those records, those numbers, those are a part of Major League Baseball. So over the next year or so, we're going to find out. Maybe, we thought somebody was the leader for the most home runs or whatever. That may change.
Tony, here's the bigger thing. They weren't letting South American guys play.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't letting South American guys play. Those dudes were really good at stickball in the 30s too, man. They were still playing it. That's an old game.
And
Come on, man.
It's-
There's some South American guys who would have came up did Negro League stat lines all day. Absolutely.
It frustrates me how much like American culture baseball really is. So resistant to change and growth, and so willing to treat somebody by their race rather than their ability.
Reason the NBA is fucking flourishing right now.
Exactly. Adam Silver got it right. Robert Manfred is like a monkey trying to fuck a coconut. And I'm pretty sure that Roger Goodell doesn't know where he's at this point. He's just happy he's making hundreds of millions of dollars.
To do absolutely nothing.
Not a goddamn thing. He's useless as tits on a board.
Useless. Just useless. Whatever the owner whatever the owners tell him to do, he doesn't. That's it.
More
For sure.
NBA merchandise revenue in China than in the United States.
Look at that.
Did you see that?
Look at that.
When what's his name? The guy that wore the Free Tibet shoes to play
Freedom.
in the game.
Freedom.
Freedom.
No.
And-
Not Free Tibet.
No, he did wear ones that said Free Tibet.
Well, I'm saying, but Enos Freedom did.
Yeah.
Or no. Yeah, Enos. Yeah.
Stupid
The first set of shoes that he wore that the NBA was trying to like, please no, was Free Tibet, and the game had been banned in China by halftime, and he wasn't even on the floor; he was sitting on the bench.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, Enos Kanter.
Freedom.
Enos Kanter was always one of my least favorite players in the NBA. Enos Freedom is one of my favorite players in the NBA now. This motherfucker, dude. This motherfucker is just out there fucking doing it, man. Like, good for him. I don't even give
Living
a
the
shit.
American dream.
I don't even-
I don't.
Living
Yeah.
the dream,
Yep.
man. Living the dream.
Yep. All for it.
Yep. We
All for it, man.
we miss that kind of passion around here sometimes. We get a little bit complacent here in the
Yep.
old United States.
Yes.
We get a little bit complacent because our life is just it really is just like it's not bad to live here. This country is fucked up, but it's not that bad. Like everyday life here is fucking fantastic. What can you really say about it? Like go live in China for a month and tell me how good your fucking life is. Tell me how
Mhm.
fucking good your life is.
Well, and in respect to Eanes, because like there's certain countries that he can't go to because if he does, he'll get arrested and sent to Turkey and go to jail. Even though
Unbelievable.
he is a political, basically a political asylum. He can't go to some of those international games that the NBA tries to do. It happened last year, it was last year, the year before. He had to stay in the U.S. because of a problem where whatever his country, I think it's Turkey, I could be wrong on that, was going to arrest him if he came into the country because he's outspoken against the government. And I mean, that's that's respect to him for being that willing, because that's your life, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's seen some stuff that we would literally just be like, you were what doing where? Like what? Like it's
that's third
unbelievable,
world
man.
country, war-torn country shit.
Yeah. And
I mean,
dude,
it really gives us some perspective on like you said, like
I'm
it's
gonna-
crazy here, but like really, it's not that bad.
I
Yeah.
do believe that America is the greatest country on planet Earth. And that makes
Heck yeah.
me laugh. That makes me laugh because we are not good at anything.
Not a
Like,
goddamn thing.
We literally only we only lead shit. We only lead the world in three things, guys. That is number of adults who believe in angels,
Facts.
incarcerated individuals per capita, and defense spending, in which we spend more than the next 23 countries combined, 22 of which are our allies. Okay? That all being on the table.
I love
It
that
is-
fucking show. I
That
love
show's
that
awesome, isn't it?
fucking show.
Those are
Oh my
actual
God.
statistics. Those
Yes.
are actual statistics. Look it up. Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say
if you want to,
I was gonna preface it with I was pulling what's the name of the show?
it's
the-
Newsroom.
The Newsroom. Yeah, sorry, I'll credit
Yeah.
it. I was going
Look
to
up and seriously, if you could get a second, go on to YouTube, look up the most honest 3 minutes in television. Seriously, just look up that phrase and you'll see the
Fantastic.
video and what he's saying and referencing. It is fucking amazing.
Not.
I've never seen that show. What is it again?
I'll send you the link. It's called
We'll
The
send
Send
you
the
Newsroom.
link. Okay,
I'll send you the link to the video.
Guys,
Okay.
We'll send the link. I lost my point now, Tony. God damn it. No. Oh, no.
Let's take a break and
My
go
point-
to get to the NBA.
My point being, and we were talking about Enos Freedom, okay?
Mhm.
My point being is that, dude, he is just understanding like how awesome it is to live here. That's the only, we're the only country that just went, we don't really give a fuck, man. Like we're like, yeah, we don't really give a fuck about any of this. Like, and it's the people. It's the people. It is not the politicians. The people as a whole have literally just went, yeah, man, we don't really give a fuck. Come on, man. We don't give a fuck, dude. Come on, let's do this. And that is amazing. That makes us the greatest country in the world.
Absolutely.
My only argument. We have no other claim to that right other than that. I think it's the coolest thing because Enos Freedom had to go fucking, pass customs 8 times to get here, and he probably got arrested like 3 times.
Oh yeah,
and that shit's ridiculous. How stupid. It makes us feel like we are superior because how stupid you have to be to do all that stuff. Well, who cares, dude? Who cares where you're from? Who cares where you're from? Who cares what color you are? Who cares where you're from? Fucking free Tibet. Why do they own Tibet? Why do they own Tibet? And that's coming from American.
And that's the thing. And that's why, he's not being shy about it. He doesn't care that he's spending most of this time on the bench. He is using his voice. This is just like with what the players have been doing with the social justice initiatives. He is just taking it to a more international level, and he is making a difference because clearly the Chinese government is now scared of him.
Well, when you have a platform, you are supposed to use it in the most effective way possible. So I'll give you credit on that. Yeah.
But and Will, I'm going to agree with you, but also don't use it like for stuff that we don't need to be using it for.
Right.
There's a line.
Yeah.
That's why I like this thing is because that shit with Enos Freedom, that motherfucker, yes, those are millions of people. Dude, that's millions of people being affected by that. Right. In that case, use it. But don't use it for
stupid stuff.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start. Yeah, I won't say any specific.
No. You're right. And there is and should be a clear line, but this is one of those things, and that's why I've loved seeing what's been happening with all of these different social justice things, not just within the NBA, but also what we've seen come out of the NFL, and even to a small extent, Major League Baseball has even been doing a little bit. And, and that is, these players are feeling more empowered to not be quiet and not listen to these people that are telling them to shut up and play. We tell these people, hey, you're making all of this money. You should be pillars of your community and the voice of the people that need it. They're doing it now. And I fucking love it. Even the ones I disagree with. Because I'd rather you be using that platform for something than nothing at all.
Right. Great segment, fellas. Great segment. There we go. Great segment. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We're going to talk about a little college football.
Who the fuck gave Will a soundboard? Who the fuck gave Will a soundboard?
I'm gonna have one soon too.
We'll spend a good little bit on it, but we'll talk about that later. When we come back, we're gonna break down a little bit of college football. I saw a game the other day when Alabama lost to Texas A&M. We'll talk about that. They might not be as powerful as we think. I also want to break down a little bit in ABA. The LA Lakers look like they're making a little bit of a run. So when we come back, we'll talk all that. Hang out with us here on Pitfall Streams. You listen to the Sports Report podcast.
They don't need to run. Old guy jog.
We'll be right back, guys. Shout out to our sponsors, Raise Energy Drink, repsports.com. Definitely check those guys out. Use promo code GGN10 or Pinfall to save 15% off your entire order. Also want to shout out to Gamer World. Use our promo code double XP to save 10% off over there. Don't forget to catch Double HP every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tyler, K, my favorite pun. They're going to break down the latest in video game news and events. And then Pinfall Podcast, we are off for the holidays. We'll be back in January with a brand new format, doing things a little bit differently. So you can definitely check us out as we break down the professional world of wrestling, as well as have some interviews. So that will be in January, every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. All right, let me bring the fellas back on.
Sure.
Now, normally Tony C would be here, but Tony C is on assignment for him. I said I'm on assignment, spy, on the NBA team, see what's going on with the Lakers, see what's going on, with the Spurs and the Bulls, see what's going on with my little spy. Hopefully he'll be back next week with his report. But right
Nobody
now,
cares about the Bulls, Will.
Say what?
Nobody cares about the Bulls.
Hi.
I don't care if they're 17-10 or not.
Let's break down the hardwood, guys. Here's my thing. The Lakers look like they're making a little bit of a run. They got to win they got to win over the Orlando Magic the other day. LeBron just went off. Right now they are 15 and 13. I was gonna show this today, and if you look at and if you look,
I can hear the aneurysm that Dan is having right now.
If you look at it in
podcast.
if you look at it in terms of expectations, it might be true, but right now they are in the midst of a little bit of a run.
Can I point something out about the Lakers, a stat that I heard this morning that I thought was really fucking interesting?
Sure, go ahead.
So in the 16 games that LeBron James has played with the Lakers this year,
10-12.
he has scored at least 30 points
Get the jersey out.
in 8 of those games.
The Lakers jersey,
Lakers jersey. 30. So 8 games out of 16.
I'm not muting
shot
that
over
at all.
30. That's
I'm just gonna do it.
50%. 50% of his games he's done over 30 points. That's a remarkable stat and testament to what LeBron and his impact on that squad versus the fuckery that happens when he's not on the floor.
Right.
Thank you, Barry. Yeah, guys, I didn't listen to anything you guys said. Because
I was
because
defending
what you're
LeBron
talking
James.
about.
He was defending LeBron.
Yeah, no, Tony. Sometimes whenever you talk about the NBA, I just tune out. If Tony C was here, I could have a serious conversation, but he's not. So hopefully he watches this. We can have a serious conversation. Okay, but I just want to see the new one. Oh, that's that purple. Oh, that's that purple. Hang on.
That's that purple.
That's that purple. Oh, that's that purple.
That's that purple.
That's that purple. Anyway, sorry.
That purple.
I'm sorry, guys. It smells like a New Jersey, and sometimes I get sort of an erection.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Sort of.
hey, this is the Lakers 6, man. This is only one season. Anyway.
15 and 13 right now.
15 and 13. They're not the best team in the NBA, obviously. What they are is a bunch of dudes who realize that they can just turn it on in the playoffs. So what they're going to do is they're just going to position themselves. And Tony C be getting so mad right now. I'm actually doing this towards him a little bit. They're going to position themselves in the playoffs just at 6, just right there at 6. So they don't have to, like he said last week, I'll credit him for saying this. He said that they don't want 1 or 2. Like they want 3 through, they want fucking Memphis and Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma City, Utah. And like, they want all those teams, right? They don't want fucking Golden State and they don't want Phoenix. And that's it. And they'll position themselves to not get Golden State and not get Phoenix. And then it's on, bro, because dude, LeBron looks great. He's got his guys out there in the fucking jungle making his juicing. He's got his Roy juice going. His own personalized, his own personalized Roy juice is back in there. Seriously though, have you ever seen a 37-year-old that is like that? There's never been a 37-year-old in sports like that.
You're right.
Give me another one. Give me another. Give me a 37-year-old minus Tom Brady, and that's not athleticism. That's all brain.
That's all. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't
brain.
say Tom Brady. That's all brain.
That's all brain.
Yeah.
He doesn't count.
Yeah.
Tom does not count sometimes. He's so good he doesn't count sometimes. But he takes himself out of the conversation. Outside of Tom Brady, no. But 37-year-olds don't move like that, dude. He's and plus it's just I think he's not as good, obviously, because he's not as athletic, but also he's smarter, which does that kind of like Jason Kidd 2011 Dallas Mavericks thing where he's like he just shoots threes and like makes the perfect pass, and you're like, whoa, all right, that makes a huge impact.
And then that's the thing is he's figuring out, he's utilizing where he can make an impact versus where he's not going to be able to do as much. He's just focusing his strategy on that. It's just like over the last few seasons when they knew they were going to be able to draw the foul in the offensive contact, he exploited the fuck out of that. Everybody's calling him a flop. No, he was just exploiting the rules. It's why the NBA fucking changed it. So, and it wasn't just him. Other players started to follow suit. So let me clarify on that. But it's just strategy for LeBron. It's all about chess, and he's 2 moves ahead of where most people are, and they don't even think about it.
Look, I think LeBron's gonna get his. My issue with the Lakers is his supporting cast. AD's not playing like AD. Russell has played a lot better. He's coming into his own somewhat doing this little stretch. But
yeah, I'll give you that.
AD is not playing like AD, and he needs to rectify that. He needs to play like he's one of the top 5 players in the league.
Why does this always happen for AD in the middle of the season? Because we had the same conversation last year in the middle of the season where he wasn't performing because he did all right at the beginning of the year. And then he's falling off in the middle. We'll see him peak back up. Probably he'll show up in the Christmas game. I mean, he'll show up against the Nets. That there's no question in my mind that we're going to get we're going to get some of the best AD we've seen all season that night.
Yeah.
And then
can we trade him for Damian Lillard already?
I mean, that would be a beneficial move. But Damian Lillard wants to play with Ben Simmons, so I don't know that you really want to make that trade because then you got to deal with Ben Simmons too, and that's just God. Oh no,
Simmons got so many issues.
Man, he's got more issues than a fucking Playboy. It's insane. I want to support this guy, but he is such a fucking dumpster fire. It's hard to.
Yeah,
I played with a guy in high school that reminded me a lot of Anthony Davis, and every single thing, like he would just get touched on the elbow and it was like go down, like just go down, like everything is just oh my god, like
probably injures himself
strong, like but this dude, but honestly this dude was fucking talented as shit, like but he was just no toughness, like just wanted everything to just be called for him and stuff, and like those kind of guys. Anthony Davis does that all the time, and it is bothersome. It's bothersome. He just puts up numbers and he's freakishly talented and everybody knows that. And he draws double teams sometimes, but other than that, there is absolutely no dog in Anthony Davis. And I hate to even say that, but like Anthony Davis has no dog in him. There's not one
more in that guy than I do now.
Because he could be down there in New Orleans, Tony. He could be down there in the New Orleans and nobody fucking watches him. So he can just be down there dropping 28. Like just jogging down the floor, like I'm just dropping 28 because I get 25 shots a game, man.
You're gonna put him down there with Zion, James Harden, Williams,
right? No, I'm saying when he was in New Orleans. Oh
yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying when he was in New Orleans. When he was in New Orleans, yeah. That's what he was. He was just down there, no spotlight, no pressure. You can go down there and you can
kind of like Kevin Love with the Timberwolves.
Exactly. Kevin Garnett with the Timberwolves even.
Yep.
There is, when they talk about, some of these bigger teams, not just in the NBA, but also Major League Baseball and in the NFL, these bigger teams, there is a different environment than in the smaller market teams. There is a lot more pressure. There is a lot more scrutiny. There is a lot more of a light. That's why when you have guys that go from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees, that organization flies them out and has a talk with them. They're like, hey, look, you're performing really well, but this is real. And you need to realize that if you want to come here.
Yep.
And they prepare them for that and they have that conversation. And Anthony Davis said, yeah, I can handle the lights in LA. He's not showing it.
You have to
He-
understand when you're big in LA, that carries a lot of weight figuratively. Because look at the bigs that they've had, who's helped win championships. And when AD was playing well, in the bubble, they won. But right now, I haven't seen that AD.
It's not the same. He's not playing as well as he used to.
Mm-mm.
The
how
results
much
aren't there.
how much does that bubble no crowds?
Facts.
Just saying.
Facts.
No
I know
crowds.
you. I don't think you're wrong. I
Playing
don't think you're
pickup
wrong.
games.
Yeah.
Playing
Yeah.
pickup games with professional pickup games that counted.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand why people say that the bubble thing didn't count. Here's my argument to that. Yes, there were guys like AD who played better because there were no fans there. There were also an equal amount of dudes who didn't play as well because there wasn't fans there. Right?
That's true too.
That's correct, right? So I mean, you can't really say that it
That's
wasn't.
true,
I mean,
too.
it was weird
Because
too.
no, it
Weird
was
situation all
weird.
the way around.
It was just like, because I remember watching those games. It was just so fucking eerily quiet. Like, I don't want to hear LeBron fart as he runs up the court. God damn it. Put some crowd noise in there.
Right. Do something, but crowd noise would. I mean, it looked like you were watching what's the, like an NBA combine
Mhm.
scrimmage.
Mm.
Is what
Like
it
a
reminded
scrimmage
me
of some kind. Yeah. Like
Gee.
but it wasn't. But it
G-League
wasn't.
stuff.
a
Yeah.
high school scrimmage or something like that.
Yeah,
It was just
right.
G-League stuff.
I didn't
Wicked.
realize it until the season happened, how much the fan presence, even when you're watching the game on TV, makes a difference for the environment of the game.
It does.
I didn't realize how much of a difference it really made, but I can understand why the league's like, even though there's not a huge revenue loss there. I mean, most of the part of the leagues, it was around 20 to 30%. Environment wise, it had a big impact.
I know.
And I can see and I can see why they don't want to do that again if they can avoid it.
And that's why I understand when people say that the bubble year didn't count. But
Yeah,
the thing is, there were you still had to win games, and
Yeah.
there was equally as much on the games. But at the same time, guys played well because they like fans. Dudes played well when they play pickup game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It just changed the whole dynamic. It was weird.
Help Phoenix. It helped Phoenix take off. Tell you that.
I mean, it was the launching point for Phoenix because they
Mhm.
won out in the bubble, and even though they didn't get to go to the playoffs, they haven't looked back.
Yep.
Phoenix is already primed to go back to the finals again this year. They're working their ass off towards it.
Yep.
I mean, an 18-game streak. Chris Paul is dropping dimes. Like, they're firing on all cylinders right now. Even in the games that they lose, they're not losing horribly.
Nope.
You know, respect to them.
I want to also talk a little college football very, very quickly. I'm over here and I'm looking at Alabama. You guys think they're still that invincible team? Because I'm starting to think they're not. I think if you go in there with a solid game plan, they can score the football. If you can hang with them, I think you can beat them.
So we're set on the final four teams.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry, I'll let you have this one first.
No, you're fine. Will, to answer your question, Alabama is every bit as dominant as they are every year. I think there's teams that would get beat by their third string squad. Honestly, like their practice guys. They're loaded. Bryce Young. Sorry, apologies.
Be good.
Is an absolute freak.
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying I'm seeing.
Are they unbeatable?
They're stacked.
Like they are sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think
I
they have
understand what
that
you're saying.
air anymore.
They're not like last year's Alabama team,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, that's good enough to win for them. It really
like
is.
You said, they're still stacked.
They're gonna crush Houston
Because
Maybe not
they
crush
will. They
but
will.
17 points plus, I'd say.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and this is the thing of it is it's been proven when it comes to Alabama, their offense is the most stacked offense in college football, no matter what position. And you just have to accept that. And so now you have to figure out how to somehow field an offense that can try to keep pace with that, because your defense ain't gonna be able to stop shit.
Right.
And Houston, I'm sorry, is
Ain't
not
able
going
to
to
do
be
it.
able to do that. Obviously,
Ain't gonna be able to
Alabama
do it.
can be beaten, but the only way you beat them is with an offensive punch in the mouth that's just so strong they can't keep up, and that's not going to happen.
If Houston thinks they have even close to the amount of athletes that Alabama has, yes, this is the ultimate underdog game. If Cincinnati wins, it's gonna be there'll be a movie made about it probably. That's how big this is. Seriously,
Another
like, for
Rudy
them,
with somebody else's name on it.
they do
Yep.
not have the athletes. I don't care if they have the coaching. I don't care if, 1 out of 100 times Cincinnati wins this game, and that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Like because they would be like
it'll
be
make
like
an
carrying-
excuse for a mid-major.
be like
Well-
carrying Cincinnati guys off the field, and they're like, Alabama doesn't get another title. Alabama doesn't get it. It's like that's all it is because they're going to
It'll
get
make
crushed
an
in the national
excuse.
title game.
It'll make an excuse for another team to
Right.
And-
to go in there and get it, kind of like a mid-major, kind of. Not exactly, but kind of.
There is just, and this is something that Dan and I have kind of talked about to a point, but with the recruiting power that Alabama has when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, they have guys that were backups getting drafted. Backups. And we just now have their first quarterback winning a Heisman Trophy in Bryce Young, which congratulations to him.
Yes.
He was definitely his acceptance speech was amazing. If you get a chance, go on to ESPN's website and watch it. Very humble. And, he was, very humble in admitting that he wouldn't have been where he is without his team. And I think that's crucial for him to recognize, because when he gets into the NFL, he's going to realize how
That's
accurate
important that
is.
team is.
But
Trevor Lawrence 2.0.
it's when you think of Alabama, you're thinking about their offense. Alabama's defense, who gives a fuck?
Is absolutely stacked.
But that's
Now,
the thing.
I'm just trying to figure out. I know
I love
Cincinnati ain't got.
Alabama's
I know Cincinnati ain't got the horses. I'm just trying to figure out how Texas. I'm just trying to figure out how Texas A&M got that win. I'm just trying to figure out how Auburn played them to the vest. I know it's a rivalry game, but they played them to the vest.
Well, do you mean the Texas A&M game where they were in Texas A&M, the 12th man? Oh, yeah, that's
a hard stadium to win.
I was going to say, you want to figure out like College Station? College Station, 12th man?
That's like trying to
I
win
hate
an
Jimbo
Arrowhead.
Fisher. I hate Jimbo Fisher with a passion, but
Sorry, Will. They slipped up in College Station with the 12th man. Like, what the they got a 12th guy on the field. That crowd is insanity. Like, that place is insanity to play.
It's like playing in Arrowhead or in Seattle. Like, that crowd is an impact in that stadium.
Or Memorial in Nebraska.
Or Memorial in
Yeah,
Nebraska,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
We went 3-8, Tony. Shut up. Don't act like they did good.
so
They lost a lot of games at home.
So we're
Scott
just
Frost
saying
for
that-
Coach of the Year.
So
Will?
we're just saying that Alabama's going to rough ride through the playoffs. That's what we're saying.
No. I'm saying they're going to rough right through Cincinnati. They're going to rough right through Cincinnati 100%. It's not going to be a pretty game. Like it's going to be JV versus varsity. Like
Easily. Yeah, that's
So if you're assuming Georgia wins, do you think Georgia can knock them off?
no.
that's going to be I hope it's Georgia, Alabama. I want to see the fucking third one.
Mhm.
Because, dude, if you just watch this, that is the NFL, guys. It's a little bit not, but it's like when those two teams are on the field, there's a lot of NFL players that are in college. Like, I'm not saying those guys are just all going to go to the NFL. I'm saying that
Right.
it's a lot of NFL talent. That's a lot of NFL talent. It's interesting to watch.
And I think that's the best that's the best matchup you can get for a college football final. But and Georgia will stay in that game, but they will still lose by 10.
Interesting.
That's my prediction. That's my early prediction. We'll see after this week, after this next round. Is it this weekend that the next round is for college football, or is that next weekend? After this next round, I'll reassess. But right now, I mean, Georgia's got to show me something with the next round for me to really think that they're going to be closer than 10.
Well, now isn't it? I mean, it's just like the 26th and then the next week, right? That's all it is.
The 26th and the following week.
And the 3rd. It's like 26th and January 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or January 2nd. January 2nd, sorry. Yeah.
So we'll talk. I mean, we'll see. But that's my early prediction on the scenario.
Will, quick fact for you.
Hmm?
The 2021 Nebraska Cornhuskers lost more games from 10 points or less than any team in the history of Division I college football.
Wow.
10 points or less.
And that's why Scott Frost will get to keep his job, because he'll be like, oh, he's right there. They're getting him there. It's so close. You're just like,
because
he's not going to do it. Like,
because I need to be, because apparently I need to be tortured more emotionally than I naturally am. It needs to happen on a daily basis. I need to watch it. I need to watch it be played out. Look at this. Look at, I'm still hanging on. Like, I'm just at the bottom of the rung.
So no one here is giving Michigan a shot.
No.
Poor Michigan.
Nebraska lost to Michigan by 4.
Poor Michigan. You beat Ohio State. You get to the playoffs.
That was their
shows
FCS.
you love.
and nobody loves you.
Ain't nobody loving you.
And nobody loves you.
That Ohio State game was their bowl game, because nobody gives a fuck now. Nobody cares.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to our next segment. Great segment, y'all. Great segment. Let's
God
go.
damn it. God
Let's
damn it.
go.
You give me a fucking, God damn it.
This isn't Friends. No, I'm kidding. I actually
God
like it.
damn it. Canned applause.
It's not Friends? Really?
Ah, there you go. Start playing that after every. Start playing that after every joke.
great.
Oh my God. Somebody gave it to him. Who did this? I want to speak to Josh Haney immediately.
Josh ain't got nothing to do with this. This is all Will.
I want to speak to the
He
boss.
wants to
I mean,
speak
I'm
to
already
your
speaking to the boss.
manager.
Hang on,
Speak to the
hang on,
manager.
hang on, Tony. I'm already speaking to the actual boss.
All right, guys. When we come back from break, we're gonna go over
Undercover boss.
We're gonna go over the NFL. Man, we got a lot to talk about in the NFL. Oh my
You gotta
God.
tell Josh about that, man, that you're running this place. Like, come on, man, it's fucked up. You gotta tell him that you're running it, dude. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't
know,
know.
It's a secret.
He doesn't know.
It's a secret.
Like, I can tell he doesn't know. Like, you guys are fucking dicks, man. My name's Daniel Dick. You guys are fucking up there, upper management, fucking not telling. I'm sorry, go to Twitter. You're good. Fucking dickheads,
When we
man.
come back, we got a lot to talk about in the NFL huddle. Plus, we still got Dan's Dick of the Week. That's going to be interesting. So hang out with us.
Oh, and UFC. We haven't talked about the fight.
We haven't talked about the fight. We haven't talked about UFC in a minute. So we'll get into that too. We'll get
I
into
don't know
that
what
too
you're
for
talking
sure.
about
For sure. So let's go ahead and take a break right quick. You listen to the Sports Report podcast right here on Fifth
Poor
Street.
Josh, man.
Poor Josh. We'll be right back, guys. And as I wait my co-host to come from backstage, let's go ahead and break down what we just saw in a Geek Gauntlet podcast hosted by yours truly, Shaw, Janae, and Kat, William Morgan Media, twitch.tv. Check the show out there every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to our sponsors once again. Raise Energy Rate with Rep Sports. Use promo code GGN10 or Pinfall to save 15% off your order. Then we also going to head back over to Gamer World. Use promo code XP to save 10% off your order over there. All right, let's bring everybody back. All right, everyone is back as we get into the huddle. Guys, this is some amazing stuff, so hang tight. You're still gonna go up all the news first, and then we'll break down the score. 36.
Stop. Hey, your
Hey.
mic's cutting out.
In and out.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
36 NFL players on COVID-19 list due to positive test. 36, fellas.
Yep.
Wow.
They're not enforcing protocols on teams.
No.
Nobody
not at
cares.
all.
None of them
Not at
care.
all.
Like
They
none,
don't.
none of them care.
They're not.
I'm not saying that none of us care. I'm saying that none of them care, or none of them care.
We had all the Dolphins running backs on the COVID list. Jalen Ramsey's on the COVID list for tonight. He didn't play tonight. Just amazing.
And Tyler Higbee, I think.
Yeah, Higbee was out too. Yeah, I lost him in fantasy, and that cost me a game in fantasy because he didn't play, and all the other Rams tight ends suck.
Well, and I think, and they think that Higbee's a positive COVID test is a false positive, but they can't go through the process to confirm that in time for him to get to play this week. So he was out tonight. But I mean, they're up 30-20 with like 4 minutes, with like 3.5 minutes left. So I think the Rams have this one. Kyler Murray just isn't on his game, and he's slipping around in the field he shouldn't be. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Rams.
Yeah, you figure he would come to play.
I still don't know how he sees over the line.
He's gotten, I mean,
It's
both of the picks that he's thrown tonight were tip balls.
I know, dude. I'm amazed at Kyler Murray. I'm saying I'm amazed. I do not know how he sees over his offensive line.
He's
Like,
5'10".
what is he doing? I think he just does lanes. So like where it separates, anytime it separates, he's like looking, which is even more impressive because that's,
I mean, you just have to really be in sync with your receivers. I mean, and he tries to use that and move and stuff like that, but it's like, I mean, and they're still leading their division. They're going from first in the NFC with this loss to third. And the Rams are still a wild card team, but this now puts more pressure on them to keep that position going into this final stretch of games.
yeah. Kyler Murray, is Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson? Which one's faster? Who do you think?
I'm going to give Lamar a slight edge on that.
I think it's Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is the fastest quarterback in the NFL, hands down. I don't think it's even. He's definitely the quickest quarterback in the NFL. There's no doubt about that.
I just think running straight line speed.
Straight line speed. I'll take
give it to
Lamar.
I gotta give it to Lamar. Straight line speed.
Maybe, but Kyler Murray's the quickest quarterback. And the thing is, I think that's what he's doing. He must just literally just be like moving like very quickly in between things and just kind of finding lanes and stuff. Because and like Tony said, being in sync with his receivers helps and knowing where they're at. But at the same time, I mean, the tall quarterbacks still have to make that in sync throw anyway. It's not like,
I mean,
just because they can see it, they still have to be,
Right.
But at the same time, like, he amazes me. Go ahead.
I was going to say Kyler's 40 time is 4.3 and Lamar's is 4.34. So on paper, he's slightly faster than Lamar. So you would be right.
Kyler was also a sprinter.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, in high school.
He played baseball, so he had a lot more running in his training than Lamar would.
Lamar did.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both freaking amazing. But
yeah,
Kyler Murray, anyway, I just don't know how he sees over the line.
And speaking of Lamar, he got carried out of the game this Sunday.
Yeah,
but it looks like
has there been any more that's come out of that about that injury? Because I saw that he was out, but I haven't seen anything more.
He's apparently fine, is what I gathered.
A story came out today that Harbaugh said he's looking to start week. He's looking for Jackson to start week 15.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's what I've heard.
Did they just realize they were going to lose and said fuck it? Like, is that the problem here?
Well, they just carried their $500 million athlete off the field because they were like, even if it's something, we don't want to make it any worse. So we're just going to cart you off.
Yeah, we're just
like that's what you do. He should get the velvet treatment.
Kind of like
no, you're probably right on that.
Kind of like on those first match, kind of like on those first John Madden games when the ambulance just came out and ran over everybody with the exception of with the exception of the injured player. They put an injured player in there, then ran over everybody again.
Like,
He
hey,
goes back to
Will,
the locker room.
like we're playing a high school game on a Friday night where
Yep.
there's always the ambulance parked right there just in case anybody gets a neck injury.
Just in
Yeah,
case.
that's who handles all the injuries. It's just like some paramedic.
Oh
Some
yeah.
paramedic.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
paramedics.
Some paramedic.
Just doing a terrible job now of supporting his head and neck. Yeah.
It's
Man. Now Josh
Go ahead.
Allen also left the game the other day. Well, it didn't leave the game, but it looked like he was seen in a walking boot. Looked like it's a foot sprain, and
That's
he's
same
day to
thing.
day.
Same thing, Will.
Yeah.
I
Just
just think
that's
I
a
just-
$300 million athlete. They are just
Yeah.
being as safe as they can be, bud. Nobody
just think-
knows.
you know, and it's kind of interesting. You know, we see Josh Allen foot sprain, Lamar Jackson
Mhm.
something small, probably going to be back next week just fine.
Yep, ankle.
You know, Lamar
Mhm.
Jackson but fucking Aaron Rodgers and his fucking COVID toe that got worse while he threw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards. Go fuck yourself, Aaron Rodgers, you lying fuck.
I go say
I
a lie.
love
Matt,
it.
I'm not gonna say a lie. Matt Nagy needs to be fired right now. He needs to be fired
Absolutely.
right now. They were in that game. They were
Yep.
in that game.
They had
And then
that
the-
game.
And then the second half rolled around. Nothing.
Matt
Does
Nagy
it-
should not have a job.
Nope.
Will, does it really matter? It's the Bears.
Facts.
I think from a Bears organizational standpoint, the fact that you're keeping Matt Nagy at this point, he wasn't fired today, is a testament to how fucking stupid they are right now.
Matt Nagy got something on somebody. He got some pictures of something.
They're
on
not-
somebody.
They're not making the playoffs.
No.
Start the rebuild now. Start the
Yeah.
retraining now. Get a different coach as in control of the situation until you can get in the offseason and hire somebody and pray to God you can lure Eric Bieniemy out of KC so you can try to get what you want out of Justin Fields.
And I don't understand David Montgomery. It's like he rushes well against the best teams, but when the scrubs come in, he sucks.
That's
No
because they prep for the run.
No consistency.
Mhm.
No consistency.
Will, I love that you said Matt Nagy has something on upper management.
Two.
And I just want to let you know, if I ever became an NFL head coach, within the first like 2 or 3 months, I am renting a yacht and I am rigging that yacht with cameras that are hidden everywhere in the place. And I am inviting all of upper management. And then I'm going to go buy like $100,000 worth of cocaine
There you
and
go.
so many
There you go.
and so many hookers that you literally can't get away from the hookers. Like
Oh,
I will
man.
trap them on the boat, dude.
Oh,
And there's no
man.
way that one of those motherfuckers, every one of them will do something wrong.
Yep,
will do
yep.
something wrong. And
Yep.
some of them are going to get really, really good at it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm going to tell
yeah.
these hookers before, I'm going to be like, hey, you guys are just going to get these dudes to do the nastiest shit you can possibly do, okay? Like
Yep.
just the nastiest stuff you can possibly do. And they're like, okay. And pay me enough and it's fine. And I'm
Yeah.
like, good. Good, we're on the
Yeah.
same page. Like you guys, I'm fist.
You get your money's worth. You get your money's worth.
That's also.
I'm
that's
fist.
also,
I'm fist bumping them. Like, all right, let's go, guys.
Let's go. That's also
And then
a good way.
and then we're just gonna throw the nastiest part that's ever happened, and then I'm just gonna keep it like in
That's
secret
also
on a
gonna
hard
be a
drive.
good way to get rid of Urban Meyer too.
Oh, he's gone after the season. There is no
Gotta
way to
be
keep
gone,
him.
man.
There is, and you can tell by his response. Oh, your source is going to find himself out of a job. That's Urban Meyer panicking because he knows he's fucked, and he knows that this is actually tarnishing his chances to even get a job back in college
Oh yeah.
because of all the credibility he's losing by what's going on right now in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get into some of these scores real quick, and then we get into then we'll get into Dan's Dick of the Week. Whoa! Did something just happen in that game? Okay. Right now going on in the fourth quarter. Got a minute 33 seconds left. The Rams are beating the Cardinals 30-20. Wow. I thought we talked about it. I thought Arizona would come back, but it don't seem to be Kyler Murray's day. The Minnesota Vikings defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-29. I'm cutting
The
look,
Vikings tried to do everything they fucking could to give
To
that
lose
game
that
back to the
game.
Steelers.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? If it was me, and I get it, a good receiver is hard to come by. But if it was me, for that boneheaded move that Chris Claypool did by celebrating his catch with umpteen seconds on the clock, I'm cutting him. That's just me.
Mhm.
That's just me.
They're
Because if you take that time back, that might be an extra play.
So here's the question, because obviously it's clear now that Pittsburgh is going to have to go into full rebuild in the offseason.
Nope.
How deep do you think this rebuild goes? Do you think it affects the coaching staff as well, like even into Mike Tomlin? Because obviously Roethlisberger is going to be gone.
See, the only thing
But
about that
now,
is
how much
Tomlin
more
is
gonna be
too
gone?
entrenched. He's too entrenched in that. I mean, if he was anybody else, he'd be gone. But he's so entrenched in that system, I just don't see. And plus, they don't like to hire coaches, so I just can't see Tomlin being gone. I think he needs to be, because I think he's part of the problem there.
He is.
But I just don't think
Guys.
he's gone.
Dan?
Can I just continue to campaign?
Sure.
Mike Tomlin in Lincoln, Nebraska. Mike Tomlin in Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know if that's, dude.
You know what, though? I actually
think
he would be
about
a
it.
good college coach. I actually think you would be a good college coach.
I agree. Yeah. He's one of those that could go down and really get some guys ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
That dude could recruit like a motherfucker. That guy could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman wearing white gloves. And that's all it is. That's all it is. He would get everybody to come to Lincoln, dude. I'm all over it. And he's an awesome coach. Awesome coach, defense.
Oh, yeah.
Get the black shirts back.
Can you
It's
imagine
Mike
him
Tomlin
coming to your house?
Lincoln.
Can you imagine him
Mike.
coming to your house in your living room to talk to your son?
I'd be like, yes, sir,
Yes.
Mr. Tomlin.
yes.
I
Yes.
will play in Nebraska, Mr. Tomlin.
And that's the thing is he has that personality that he could really make some noise at a program like Nebraska. I mean,
Mhm.
there's probably a few others. Like
Change.
if he had gotten the USC gig, like that would have been interesting.
Guys, can I also say that Mike Tomlin will never coach at Nebraska? I understand this.
Oh,
I am a
no.
Oh,
realist.
heck no, he wouldn't.
I am a realist. Okay.
But I think you're right though. I think he would be an interesting college
be-
coach for
he'd be a
sure.
good college
I would
coach. I think he would
I
be.
would support that.
All I
think
can
he
do
would
is start
be.
the fire, guys. All I can do is start the
think he
fire.
would
We'll see
be.
where it goes. I'll just keep campaigning.
I don't think he'll go to. I don't think he'll go to Nebraska, but
No.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start. I'm gonna start leaking fake news stories about Tomlin to Nebraska to see if I can like somehow switch the. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just text
Just
guys
to
and be like,
impact
yeah,
the
Tom's to Nebraska.
algorithm.
Yeah. Try to just like.
oh
try
my
to just, like,
goodness.
Just
Oh, my
find one of
goodness.
Adam Schefter's cell phone numbers and just randomly text him from different numbers. Hey, just a heads up, Mike Tomlin in
Yes.
Nebraska is happening.
Yes,
just
it's
gonna-
happening.
I'm just gonna hack Shefty's fucking Twitter account and just like. the other-
That would be so funny. That'd be so funny.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I'm on it right now. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys
Oh.
defeat the Washington football team 27-20. Tennessee Titans defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-0. Josh's Houston Texans go down once again to the Seattle Seahawks 33-13. I feel sorry for Josh. I
That
really do.
organization is a dumpster fire.
Heck yeah.
Plain and simple.
Your Kansas City Chiefs 7 defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 48-9.
So
They showed it on
Hang on.
ESPN earlier this morning on Get Up when you had the Raiders go out there and stomp on the Kansas City Chiefs logo. You idiots! That's good. That's like
and here's the thing. Last year, the first time the Raiders played the Chiefs, the Raiders won the game. It was in Arrowhead, and they took a victory lap. The Raiders have not beat the Chiefs since then. And in the two games this year, were outscored 89-23. Kansas City needs to whatever the fuck that city is. Las Vegas Raiders need to stop
Yeah, there
fucking
you go.
around and start
still do
playing
it too.
football.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And from an organizational standpoint, and obviously with all the issues that are going on, the coaching staff wasn't present enough to be like, hey, no, don't fucking do that. But
No, there's
look at what
there is-
happened to Juju Schuster last year after all the fucking around that he did.
Yep,
Like, why would you guys
Yep.
be that stupid?
Right.
Come on.
right.
The Raiders effectively, Tony, don't have a head coach. It's just a bunch of coordinators that just like kind of get shit together. And they're like, what do you think? Do we let the guys do all the things today? Like, yeah, they'll just make their own fucking itinerary and everything because that's what they do. They're just like, oh yeah, this is what we should do and blah blah. They're all coordinators. There's no central figure.
the frustrating thing for me is with the organization. And I had a friend of mine, his name is Taylor. I was talking to him before I came on tonight. And, he posed an interesting question, like with what's going on and how catastrophic it is with the Raiders in Las Vegas in this largely expanding market. Does the NFL come to a point where they need to intervene and force the Davis family to relinquish control and sell the team to somebody who's going to be more effective at running the organization? I don't think the Davis family is one of those ones that they can just push out. But he felt like he felt otherwise. What do you guys think?
Is Mark Davis at that point, Tony?
And that's the thing is, I don't know that it's at that point. I think that they need to clean house organizationally, but I don't know that it's quite to the point where it's time to take the keys out of the Davis family's hands. At least personally.
You can't, for one. That's part of America, like we talked about earlier. You can't just take it out of there. Donald Sterling, it was taken out of Donald Sterling's hands. I get it. It was taken out of Donald, but this is not even what's this? This is.
I mean, you have to think about it. This recording, this recording comes out about Donald Sterling saying shit, which was horrible shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the fuckhead.
Right.
And he has to sell the team. You mean to tell me that fucking character from Benchwarmers looking motherfucker hasn't said something he shouldn't have? Are you kidding me?
Right?
Come on. They can crucify that guy at any time.
That I don't even remember.
Especially with the hit job that was on Gruden. That was a warning shot.
It was. I don't I don't remember what he actually said, but the Jerry Jones video. Have you ever seen the Jerry Jones video where he's like,
oh God.
He's like, he's in the ballroom and he's just clearly wasted off scotch. And he is like, what does he say, dude? Like, what does he say? He says something like,
my goodness,
I cannot remember. But it's fucked. It's awesome. And I'm like, he's just an old rich white guy, man. Like we're gonna catch him every 15. Just old rich drunk white guy. Just you're gonna catch him every 15 seconds.
Saying
something.
And I mean, and Jerry Jones is one of those where it's going to be really hard to usurp him because just like he's reminded the NFL community, they have the highest grossing merchandising sales of any team in the country.
Yep.
They sell more merchandise in the DC area than fucking Washington football team. It's their second biggest market.
It's amazing.
Yep. Have you seen, did either one of you watch Hard Knocks, the last Hard Knocks season? It was
last one I haven't watched yet.
It was the Cowboys. It was this year. Dude, their facility, their training facility is like a city. It's literally like a city. And there's like an indoor stadium in the middle of it that is like a mini version of AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World. It's like a mini version and it's a practice field for they have so much fucking money. Like it is just throwing it everywhere, like making it appealing. But yeah, dude, that's a lot of merchandise.
And I think that,
TV.
Right. Well, and I think that and this is one of the reasons why I think that it would be so hard to pull Davis out because the Raiders do have one of the higher grossing merchandising of any of the NFL teams. I'm not saying the highest, but they're, top 8.
Right there.
And so you have with that and also just what the Davis family does in their markets, it's really hard to be able to try and force them out unless you pull a Donald Sterling and you put something out that's going to force them to relinquish control. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I think the NFL likes the Davis family and the impact that they have. They're just going to force them to clean house.
For sure. Because Tony, let's think about how biased our opinions on the Las Vegas or at our time when we created the bias, the Oakland Raiders is. We're from around the Kansas City area. They are, dude, the Raiders are the enemy here. I'm saying, like anybody who's playing the Raiders, that's how it gets drawn when you're young. So it's already ingrained in us. What I'm saying is I don't think that the Davises are bad people.
No, and I don't either. And that's why I don't think that they.
Yeah.
And I can see the pushback from an organizational standpoint because you don't want to fuck up the the moving into the Las Vegas market, which is one of the the hottest and expanding markets when it comes to professional sports. They're about to get a baseball team because we all know the fucking A's are going to Vegas.
Yay.
It's not official yet, but that's what's going to happen. Like they've already been looking at land and stuff is getting quietly bought behind the scenes so that they can be ready.
That's
to go.
awesome.
The NFL has a vested interest in making sure that the Raiders don't fuck up, because what you don't want is every Raiders game to be full of away team fans.
No,
because that's what they're building, especially because of how touristy Vegas is. If they don't put pressure on the organization to start producing, and give me a wild card season. Give me a wild card season to at least put some energy and belief back into it. You're not going to win the division against the Chiefs in the next couple of years anyway. We all fucking know that. But let's at least, get a wild card season in, make a splash, show that you can make the playoffs.
Right.
Because otherwise you're going to start to lose that Vegas market because their fair weather is a motherfucker.
Oh,
easy.
Absolutely. So
Easy.
Tony, what do you think that you would kind of want them to be? Not worse, but like kind of just they're competitive, kind of like they are now, just 8 and 9 and doing that thing, just to keep it right. But just to keep it towards like a lot of those opposing fans go, oh, Las Vegas at Las Vegas, like let's go there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how much more money are they going to make as a city off of that? How much? Because that's 30,000 people, dude.
Right. I mean, and there's tax dollars that you get because, a lot of stuff in Vegas, like there's a lot of taxes that if you're from out of town, you're paying more in taxes than you are if you're in town, especially, like the casinos and the resorts. And
they're going to stay and they're going to gamble. Mm-hmm. And that makes all of that area more money. So for the city, it's actually better, just like
But they want that team to be competitive. Because they want it to be able to be seen online, for Vegas to be able to be seen online, because that's free fucking advertising for Vegas. They're already spending enough money on their own commercials. They can get some help from the fucking Raiders for giving them a stadium.
Oh yeah.
I can see the NFL and the city of Vegas wanting this to work and putting pressure on the Davis family to go, hey, look, it's time to clean house. This bullshit has to change. And I don't blame them. Because it's a money thing. It really is. But they got to do something.
All right. Let's go ahead and break down the rest of these scores, and then we'll get into Dan's segment. Mount Orleans Saints break a 5-game losing streak, beat the New York Jets 30-9. The Atlanta Falcons defeat the Carolina Panthers 29-21. The Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-22. In the most pathetic game of the week, the Los Chargers defeat the Giants 37-21. Mike Glennon gets the start in this one, and he just looks terrible.
The neck, Mike Glennon, the neck. You seen the neck on that guy? Looks like a giraffe wearing a helmet.
I don't understand why they can't get the Giants back to being a competitive team.
I don't understand it either.
Like it's I don't get it.
I don't understand that either.
It's bad for ratings.
You think that front office will have it together? They got some of the best talent in the league, but
would you guys say it's a Giant problem?
Get the fuck out of here.
We're gonna run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
That's the Giants in that movie are better than the Giants on the NFL football field right now. Just saying.
They would compete. Those ones on Little Giants would compete.
They would compete.
Just as humans now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like however old they are now. They could probably play.
Especially if you get the fridge in or Icebox. That was her name. Icebox. You got to get Icebox in.
Right. Yeah. Just full back, double handing it. Yep. Full back, just right down the middle of the field, like Bo Jackson and Tecmo.
The Denver Broncos defeat the Detroit Lions 38-10. The San Francisco 49ers defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 26-23. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Buffalo Bills 33-27. How the heck do you go from leading your division to being in the hunt in just 4 weeks? The Bills were leading that. The Bills were leading that division, and now
it comes down to one thing, just the same way it always is. It's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Unfortunately, they're not on the same team anymore, so it's an even bigger fucking problem.
Right? Both of them to fuck with.
Oh man.
I feel like Josh Allen is a lot like a tank.
Mm.
And the fact that he's got that rifle cannon arm and nobody wants to fuck with him. But sometimes if you have like a smaller military vehicle, you can get to the tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you just kind of figure out where because he's just like so athletically dominant. He's got a fucking cannon. And it's like, you can just kind of figure out how to fuck with him a little bit and get him out of that. Like, don't let him drop back and just be like, oh yeah, he's going to throw these timing rounds. And don't let him do that.
Right.
I have a mean prediction on him, and I feel bad for it, but just the way I'm seeing him develop with the Bills, he is the next Drew
Carson
Brees
Palmer.
of the league.
Ooh, I was going to say Carson Palmer, but that's a good prediction.
Well, no, and what I mean is, here's what I mean by that. And I mean, you're going to see some decent performances, but you're never going to see quite the results that you should with the quality of talent that he is and has around him. You're going to get one Super Bowl out of him.
7. Drew Brees is second all-time in passing yards and fourth all-time in passing touchdowns.
And one Super Bowl.
Josh Allen ever gets to Drew Brees' statistical categories, that would be a freaking amazing thing. Yeah, like so you're saying he's one of the greatest of all time by saying that.
You can't put him. You can't put him as the greatest. No, you can't put Brees as one of the greatest of all time. He's great. He's a Hall of Famer, but one of the greatest of all time.
Did you hear who I said at the same time? Did you hear who I said at the same time? I said Carson Palmer. And he reminds me of Carson Palmer with the arm and the fucking size and all that shit. But
he's got more of an Carson Palmer than that's why I won't go with that. I would rather go with Drew Brees because he's going to individually have results, but you're not going to get more than one Super Bowl out of it.
7, this is no longer about the Carson Palmer thing. This is about the fact that you just said that Josh Allen is the next Drew Brees, and you said it like it's a bad thing. You said
I don't see that from I don't see that from him. I see more of somebody like a he might not be as interception prone, but I see somebody more as a Brett Favre, somebody who can move around in the pocket, but also has a cannon for an arm. I look more at him as a Brett Favre than I do a Drew Brees, because Drew is more accurate. Because Drew is more accurate. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the history of the league.
No, you're right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Can we not ignore the fact that Josh Allen is Cam Newton?
No, come on.
I can't say that yet. The reason why I can't say that, I can't say that because he's a better QB than Cam right now.
He wins more. He actually can win his team games.
No. Not right now. Mm-hmm. Cam, when he came out, exactly like Josh Allen came out, and then about 3 or 4 years in with Carolina, in his prime time.
You mean from the start to now?
Okay, all right. I'll give you that.
Not right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on.
I got you.
No, not right now. I obviously know Cam Newton's. I love his hats though. Cam's one of my favorite dudes of all time for real. Hats? I love his fucking hats, dude. I'm sorry, but
it's a shame though because
I love Cam
because the man is known more for what he wears than what he does on the field.
I remember I mean, not for me, but
it's
not for me.
I mean, I get that.
I mean, if you look at him right now, he's not playing that well. He scored a touchdown, but
man,
I mean, and I get that is partially his fault, but do you think it's entirely his fault that he's not producing right now? Is it the cast that's around him?
I don't think it's completely at fault.
No.
I want a solid 2 years on Madden, and I would play franchises with Cam Newton, dude. Just
on paper, that's the thing. On paper, Cam Newton can take you to the fucking Super Bowl.
Wow.
But on the field,
in 2016, he was a stud.
Like he was in 16. He was in 16.
Dude, he's always been a stud. That's what we're missing. He's always been a stud. For some reason, it just hasn't worked. And one of the factors is he's not very accurate. And that's what Josh Allen gets. He's not very accurate. He has a cannon. Cam had a cannon, not as strong as Josh Allen's, but pretty close. And
I would say Cam with less injuries.
I would just like to see both those.
Cam wasn't injured that much early.
I would just like to see Josh not run the ball as much as he does. I'd like to see them get a legit running back in Buffalo. Josh Allen is the running back
right now.
Yeah, and I would like to see them get a legit running back. Singletary's not the guy. Moss ain't the guy. Breeder's not the guy.
They should trade for Saquon Barkley from the Giants because they have a better shot at getting a running game with him there than fucking Josh Allen.
Why? Yeah, and also why is Josh Allen running the ball? Hardly at all.
Should be he's not as much as he does.
Quarterback.
Not as much as he does.
He's not a running quarterback,
dude. He is a running quarterback. That's what I think you're missing. This dude is fast. He is big. They said he's literally just one of the biggest
I
dudes.
mean,
I
let
would
me
just like to see
clarify
him
with
not
the
run as
scheme
much.
that they use with this. I know that he has the ability to run, but with the scheme that Buffalo uses, he is not a running quarterback.
I just like to see. I would just like to see him not run the ball as much because if you go back and look at it,
Don't
he has
touch
a go back and look at his rushing attempts though. 7. He has a lot of rushing attempts this
a
year.
lot, dude.
A
Yes,
lot,
he is a
man.
running
Well,
quarterback in
yeah,
that
yeah.
offense.
Because they don't. Who else do they have for their running game right now? If he doesn't,
Again, that's what I'm saying. Moss
it's
is
built-
not the guy. Devin Singletary is not the man. Breeder's not the man. I just like to see them get a legit running back that takes some of that rushing, some of
Guys,
those carries off.
that's
of
what
Josh
I'm
Allen.
saying. If they
Let's-
had somebody the way that their scheme would run, he wouldn't be running the ball.
I was gonna say but let's not also act like this is just a running back issue. This is an offensive line issue, clearly.
Facts. That
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That offensive line does not run block.
That too.
And also you play in Buffalo, New York. Think about that location. Why are you building a spread wide offense? I understand that your quarterback probably has the strongest arm, one of the strongest arms in the league, up there at the top. But why are you building a spread? You're going to be playing in the cold, dude. You're going to play in the wind. You're going to play in all those conditions. Like, why are you
Correct me
building
if I'm
that?
wrong, but it's
You
an
should
open
have
air-
one of the best run protection schemes and lines in the league because of where you're playing.
and forgive me if I'm wrong. Getting at an open air stadium.
Yeah,
It 100% is, yes.
and that's why they should. Because, I mean, otherwise you're going to get beat by Bill Belichick only throwing the ball 3 fucking times all game.
That game plan with that team.
Hey,
Brilliant. That was brilliant. That
Freak.
was brilliance
Brilliance and Bill Belichick.
Brilliance.
I am not criticizing Bill Belichick, but that is just fuck. Oh my god, that just
That's
Freak.
just brilliance, man.
freak.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's a freak.
Yep.
He's the greatest NFL coach of all time. I would love to hear somebody.
Oh, you can't deny that.
no.
I think
You might not
that's-
like the man, but you can't deny that.
So he's made Gretzky, Jordan. It's Gretzky, Jordan, Belichick, Brady are the
You
are
can
the
make
four
art. The only thing,
outright.
the only thing you really, when it comes to great all-time coaches in the NFL, the only thing you can really ask who and debate who is second.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
that's interesting debate.
No,
Who
yeah, and
was
that
second?
that is a debate. But Bill Belichick is the greatest mind
The
in
guy.
football history.
the
Yeah,
guy,
absolutely.
the guy.
Well, you got me
Um,
thinking now. Like, who is the second?
Who is the
That's
greatest
pretty
second
crazy.
coach? Yeah,
They're all just so close together. They're probably just like fucking. Oh god damn, that's tough. I can't even.
Defense? For the 49ers, those class of 49ers.
Yeah,
teams?
that's
Maybe?
what I was gonna say. Or somebody who's just like done it. I mean, obviously, Lombardi.
yeah. Yeah.
The Lombardi, or you could even go with like I wouldn't say Madden, but Vermeil.
Madden's up there.
He was probably up there. Vermeil, Vermeil's got to be
Mhm.
up there.
Chuck Noll's up there.
Yeah, Chuck
There's
Noll's in
No,
there.
Ditka's up there. Ditka's
Ditka.
up there.
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh yeah, he's up there.
definitely
That's-
up there.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of guys, but none of them have separated themselves.
Where
like
would
that.
you put Marv Levy though?
I would put him top 15, but not top 10.
I don't even know who the fuck is Marv Levy
Coach for Buffalo Bills.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
That name sounds wrong. It's not Marv Levy.
Doggone it. I know last name's Levy.
It's not
um,
Marv Levy.
Is it Steve? No. What is?
The fuck are you talking about? God damn it! What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Because I think you're right. Because I recognize as coach for the Bills.
Marv Levy is an NBA announcer.
I know I know he's an NBA announcer.
No, that's Marv Albert. Sorry.
No, it's Marv Levy. Marv Levy.
it?
Mhm.
Okay.
It is Marv
Alright.
Levy. No, yeah.
So I'm the fucked up. one? I don't
yeah,
know who it is.
He coached from the Bills from 86 to 97.
So
Where do
he
you
was.
put-
Oh God,
Where do
nowhere.
you put
'Cause he-
him?
nowhere.
That's
I
four
like it.
straight, though.
I like it. To not
That's
win
forced.
one is a little
That's
rough. I
tough.
mean, he's up there.
And that's why I
He's
can't
up there,
put him in
though?
the top
Oh.
10, but he's top 15. I will
That's
give him
tough.
top
he's up there
15
though.
because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I thought that was the wrong name.
You
That's my
good. You
bad.
good. That's cool. But that'll be a debate for another show. Who's the
Right.
second greatest coach ever?
What other scores do we have to go through?
Will,
I
good
think we've
question,
gone
good
through
question.
just about all
Oh,
of
we only
them.
got two more. Green Bay defeat the Chicago Bears. We talked about it earlier, 45-30. And tonight's game, the the Rams defeat the Cardinals 30-23. I thought the Cardinals was gonna go come to play, and they
They
didn't.
started that game strong, and then after that first tipped interception, Aaron Donald tipped it, and then it got intercepted. They just fucking crumbled. They just fucking crumbled.
Man.
If they would have gone up 10-0, they would have ran away with that game.
Mm,
But because of that interception, that was it.
that was it.
Yeah, Marv Levy. It's the ghost of Marv Levy.
That's 4 straight, man. That's kind of hard to say you don't deserve to be in the top 10. That's 4
Oh, I
straight.
love the guy. I love the guy for his persistence and his obvious, the guy can take a beating.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that is like good for him.
yeah.
I mean, and they got to 4 straight.
Gotta
You're
give
not
him
bad.
that. Gotta
You're
give
not
him
bad.
that
Yeah.
for sure.
It's that's how hard that is. Not just to get to 1,
Mm-hmm.
but 4 straight and not winning them.
Yep.
That's
What do you-
remarkable
What do you
resilience.
think? What do you think that training camp was like before that 4th run? For real, they had just been to 3 straight and just lost all of them in a row. Like
in a row.
it had to. Have
I
just
would
been
love to have been a
intense.
fly on those walls.
I
just to
would
be able to
too.
see
You
that.
got
That's-
Bruce Smith's out there just fucking people up, throwing them on the ground and shit. Yeah.
I just want a goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah, just they're all so angry. They're all so angry, and then at the end of it, they lose again, and it's like,
Lose again.
oh god, they all just retire. They're like, nope, we're done.
Nope,
we're
nope,
done.
nope.
We're done.
I don't.
We're
I
done.
mean, can you blame them? Can you
Jim-
blame
Yeah,
them?
I'd
Jim-
be like, I'd honestly be like, no, but
Jim Kelly, Thurman
Mhm.
Thomas. My
The
goodness,
Yeah.
roster
man.
they had, they should have gotten at least 1 out of that.
Don
field.
Beebe.
At least
Come
one.
on.
Mhm.
Don Beebe,
Yep.
Yep.
Remember
love
Don?
me some Don Beebe.
Oh yeah.
So, dig of the week.
The week is up, and I got
Yeah.
it right here. All right, this is Dan's Dick of the Week, everybody. Before we roll out, let's hit it up, Dan. Go.
Rob Manfred.
Yep. Easy. Get your head out your ass, man.
That was it. Just get over it. I feel like there's a lot of this is gonna be fucked up. There's hoods being worn in some of those owners' meetings in the MLB,
I'm starting to believe
wearing-
that. I'm starting to believe that.
bro.
They need to give us a reason or
Don't.
not. I'm sorry, but I can't blame you.
I'm starting to believe that for real because some of the stuff they won't give concessions to is stupid.
Rob
It's
the Grand,
all about greed.
Rob the Grand Wizard. Sorry, I said it. Dick of the
Love
week.
it. That's fine. This is Sports Report, man. We're unrestricted on this show, man.
Say whatever the fuck we want.
We're
wanna cut that part
unrestricted
later.
on this show, man. We are unrestricted on the
Grand
show.
Wizard.
Believe
Grand
it in
Wizard
your
Rob.
heart.
Can we just change his name on the show, please? Right now,
Grand
we're gonna
Wizard.
officially change his name to Grand Wizard
Grand
Rob.
Wizard Rob.
And that is how you refer.
Let's
to
see
Rob
how
Manfred.
long. Let's see how long we can run that until we get a cease and desist from Major League Baseball.
Oh,
Cancel
I want to get a
culture.
letter. I want to get a letter. They sent it to all of our houses, like all personal, like we're like, dude, shut the.
Shut the hell
No,
up,
we're
man.
gonna continue. We think he's a wizard. What the fuck are you talking about?
Grand
We
Wizard,
think
man.
he's a wizard. No, we think he's a real wizard. Like we think he
Exactly.
performs magic and shit.
Like he went
Exactly.
to Hogwarts. I or
Rabbit at the
no,
hat type
Ilvermorny,
shit.
Ilvermorny, the American version of Hogwarts. Ilvermorny. We'll go with
Rabbit
that
at the
one.
hat type shit.
Do you think Rob Manfred's Washington home has gigantic pillars in the front of it,
I wouldn't
and
doubt
just
it.
like a lot of open land around the outside?
I wouldn't doubt
It's
it.
just it's straight
One
plantation
tree in the middle of the yard.
Yep.
With a branch that sticks out.
stuff. They have like an old maid that nobody knows where she came from, but she's like 85 and she carries the tea around all day and just tells him, "Hey, Rob, you're doing a great job." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, Eleanor." And that's his life. That's what
That's
we're
his
doing.
life.
Yep.
Oh
And then
my
he-
goodness.
Occasionally he lights crosses on fire. That's
It's for time to leave.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love that. I love that South Park episode.
Yes.
South America.
One of my favorite South Park episodes. Okay, let's wrap it up. I got shit to do.
Let's
Good
go ahead and wrap
God.
this. Let's go ahead and wrap.
That
Anybody
got
got anything you
dark
want to get out
fast,
there?
guys. What are we doing?
Anybody
are
got
we
anything you
doing
want to get
here?
out there before we head out for the night?
No.
I think we got it all out.
Yeah, I think we got everything out. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
everything's-
All right, everybody. Great show. Great show.
God damn it.
Fantastic show. Thank
God
y'all for
damn
being
it.
here. Thank y'all for coming through. I'll say thank y'all. And if there's nothing else, we'll see you guys again. Hopefully, Tony Steve will be back with us next week. So thank you guys. Appreciate y'all coming out. And we'll
Did a
see
great
y'all
job
again
tonight,
next
Will.
week here on the Sports Report Podcast. Y'all have a fantastic night and see you next week.